I've fallen into another rabbit hole, guys. I mentioned this on a previous stream, but you know how I like isekai, right? You know we're doing an isekai watch party right now. Well, yeah, isekai is like old news now, you know. Maybe I've fallen out of love with isekai because I've discovered this new thing called regression, which is not really a new thing, but it's the first time I've actually just gotten balls deep into regression manhwa. And I'm like, well, out of the trash can into the dumpster, am I right? Regression's totally different from isekai, am I right, guys? Regression is totally different from isekai. That's something that's totally different. Not the same thing at all. The name sounds so bad, Lamau. I mean, the name isn't any worse than isekai, which just means another world. All that regression is just traveling back into the past and doing a new game plus. That's basically regression. Suicide Hunter is so good. Yeah, that is one of my favorite regression stories that I've read recently. So I'm I think I'm going to do a video on regression, mostly because I want to introduce people to regression before I start talking about Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, which is not technically regression, but holy shit, that series goes so hard. Here's the thing that I find difficult, right? There are so many regression manhwa, but unlike isekai anime, it's just not as many people are documenting their experiences on it. So I'm going into so many of these manhwa blind. Whereas with isekai, you can normally get like a taste about, okay, there are some really, really generic isekai, but there are some alright ones and there are some that do something pretty interesting. With manhwa, it's literally just a shot in the dark. There is so much bad stuff out there. And then I read and I waste like a day reading some of the worst pieces of fiction I've ever read in my life. And I'm like, well, great. I just wasted a few hours of my day that I'm never going to get back. And then I do it all over again when I pick another random title. The beginning after the end is best. That's not so much regression. I would say that is more similar to Mushoku Tensei, in that it's more of a reincarnation one. But yeah, if you have any other actually good regression manhwa, I'm kind of addicted right now, and I'm just gonna burn through a bunch before the new season starts and I actually start watching anime again. SSS Class Revival Hunter, yeah, I've already read that one. Is ReZero a regression? I would say that ReZero is a regression one. I would say that ReZero basically is, let's say, a less trashy regression story than a lot of other regression stories that I've read so far. You know, regression has a lot of similar things to isekai. It's a lot of the times it uses a OP main character who gets special powers because he can travel back in time and he has knowledge of the future.
Groundhog Day with Bill Murray and Edge of Tomorrow, sci-fi movie with Tom Cruise, are both regression. Groundhog Day is
that's the OG regressions, man. That is the OG regressions. That's like the Alice in Wonderland of the regression genre. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.